Greetings to Dr. Lam Kuang Kang. We are from Group Hausmate KBA 24358. Our topic for presentation today is factors that influence the usage of TikTok among young generations. First of all, I would like to introduce our group members, which is our leader Nur Izzah Ma'aris, Asia Sakinah Nur Anwar, Alia Diana Ma'riza, Siti Nur Bahira Muhammad Hasni, and me, Nur Aina Aklia binti Azham.
The TikTok application, through its videos, is able to provide entertainment to users, and sometimes it is beneficial in addition to being a platform for delivering education to users. However, the popularity of TikTok is somewhat worrying, especially among children aged between 4 and 13. Uncontrolled use of the application can cause negative effects such as exposure to sexual predators and privacy violations. According to Dr. Ruziana, privacy leak through the use of TikTok is more dangerous for children because their safety can be threatened as well as their families. In addition, failure to control time also affects other variables. The more users who fail to limit their time on TikTok, the higher the likelihood that they will be distracted by TikTok where they should be focused in class and complete their assignments given by the teachers.
In this study, we conducted a research question and research objective. For the research questions, first is there any significant influence of uniqueness on the level of intention to use TikTok? Second is there any significant influence of informativeness on the level of intention to use TikTok? And for the last is there any significant influence of intention to shop on the level of intention to use TikTok? For objective, the first research objective is to investigate the influence of uniqueness on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generations. Second is to investigate the influence of informativeness on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generations. The study also wants to investigate the influence of intention to shop on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generations. For meta-analysis, the study conducted as quantitative research. The purpose is to study relationship, cause, and effect. We use questionnaire method to collect data. In this study, we also provide statistical analysis of numeric data, numbers, and also quantity.
Now I will explain the summary of the literature review. To sum up, this chapter, which is literature review, focus on the main topic of this literature and theories related to this study. The topic covered in this chapter related to dependent variables, which are the intention to use TikTok, influenced by the three independence variables, which are uniqueness, informativeness, and intention to shop in TikTok. Each variable in this study is described in terms of the many definitions that may be found from area of the research. According to an article by Call, many young people spend most of the time on the TikTok application. Among those people who log in to the TikTok application, is about 23% say that they open the TikTok application for only a few minutes. Then there is 25% for those who open the TikTok for a few hours, and only 22% who use this TikTok application only for once per day. Next, the first ID, which is uniqueness. According to Darius et al. 2022, TikTok's originally is shown in this one of its traits. The For You feed, which show videos based on what other TikTok users enjoy. Is one of the popular aspect that TikTok meets with the app's other features. Furthermore, TikTok showcase the most recent features, some of which include the response functions, which allows users to reply to other users' video directly through the apps. Therefore, the informativeness. TikTok informations includes unpacking videos, demonstration or tutorials, sharing thoughts, questions and advice regarding services or item, and also beauty tips. Then intention to shop. In TikTok, based on research, one of the reasons why purchases on TikTok happen is because of the products, prices, and the way they promote. According to the article, TikTok also managed to give fashionable videos influence young generations to purchasing decision, which is especially important for fashion brands that are attempting to use TikTok fashion haul videos as a promotion tools, because TikTok fashion haul videos are still relatively new.
For the next method is population and sampling. There have two components in this method, which are sample size and sampling technique. Okay, now population and sampling, we target sample or participants is the young generation who was born on 1997, as I mentioned earlier, until 2020. And then we had 100 respondents. For the sampling technique, we use a non-probability, since it does not rely on randomization, because this technique is more reliant on the researcher ability to select elements for a sample. Then for the sample size of this study was a young generation which have an TikTok application. Questionnaire design that we use in this research, we measure it with a Likert scale, because a Likert scale is a one-dimensional scale that's allow us to determine responder level of agreement or disagreement. And then for the data collection, we use a questionnaire, because we create a Google form link and then spread the link survey through social media network like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Instagram. Now, I will present on research methodology. Research methodology refers to the procedure or approach used to find, get, organize, and manage data from various sources. Method that has been used in the study have 5 components, which are research design, population and sampling, data collection, questionnaire design, and also data analysis. This study provides a sufficient time frames, which is 14 weeks. Now I'm gonna explain on research design. Research design is the first method that we use in research methodology. Okay, research design is the most important stage after we establish the research topic. It also contains 6 components, which are: the first one is purpose of the study, types of investigations, extent of research interference, study setting, unit of analysis, and time horizons. Okay, for the purpose of the study, for example, we are interested in investigating informativeness, uniqueness, and intention to shop in TikTok, intention to use TikTok. We will use a quantitative methods questionnaire. For the types of investigation, we conduct a clarification inquiry based on the research problem of what factor influence intention to use TikToks among young generation. We want to discover what things that influence the intention to use TikTok among young generation. For the extent of research interference, this research require little interference, since it interferes with the usual flow of the research process. To investigate the factor, we need to build a conceptual framework first. Then we collect and evaluate the data. And then for study settings, we employ a non-contrived setting in the natural environment, where the job will continue normally rather than an artificial one. Okay, for unit of analysis, this study focus more on the factor that influence the intention to use TikTok among young generation, from Generation Z, born on 1997 until 2020, consistent male and female, of course. And then for time horizons, we apply a cross-sectional temporal horizons.
For validity test, based on the table above, the result of the validity test performed using SPSS. The KMO value and p-value stated is 0.919 and 0.000 respectively. In conclusion, this instrument is suitable for future investigation since the KMO value is 0.919, which is greater than 0.5, and the p-value is 0.000, which is less than 0.05, indicating that it is significant. Next is reliability test. From the table, the Cronbach alpha for all variables is more than 0.5. None of the items from each variable was deleted, indicating all the instruments used were reliable. For the dependent variable, which is intention to use, the value that we have obtained was 0.844. It was more than 0.5. The instruments of each variable are also the same with the dependent variable, as it is also more than 0.5. Hence, no item was deleted. This is because the Cronbach alpha for all independent variables, which are uniqueness, informativeness, and intention to shop in TikTok, were 0.833, 0.871, and 0.878.
Now I will explain for the second phase of the data analysis, which is the demographic and descriptive analysis. So for the first graph is the gender. Based on the graph above, it reveals around 40.2%, which is for 76 of the sample consists of male TikTok users, and 59.8% is 113 consisted of female TikTok users. And then for the age of our respondents, in terms of age segmentation, there are 5 categories included in the study, which is the categories were consisting of 14 to 16 years old, 17 to 19 years old, and 20 to 22 years old, and 23 to 25 years old. The first graph shows the data above the age of 189 respondents. The majority are from the age 23 to 25 respondent, representing for 40.7%, which is 77 respondent, which is the highest percentage compared to other ages. This is followed by 38.1%, which is 72 of respondents between the age of 20 to 22 years old, and 17.5% consists for 33 respondents are between 17 to 19 years old. And on the graph, we can see that the lowest percentage is 3.7%, respectively for 7 of the respondents are between 14 to 16 years old. This shows that most of the respondents are in the age youth group. For the next demographic is education level. This part of the demographic profile is education level consists of several levels, which are SPM, SCPM, diploma, degree, and master degree. The result shows that the highest percentage that consists of 51.9%, which is 98 respondents, are in the degree level, and followed by 32.8%, which is 62 respondents in diploma level, and then followed by SPM level, which consists of 10.1%, which is 19 respondents. And the lowest, not the lowest, we also have STPM level, which consists of 4.2%, which is 8 respondents, and the least result that we get from this research is 1.1%, which is only 2% or respondent which is in master degree level. And the next part is for the average time that used for in TikTok application. This part consists of five categories. The categories will consist of 5 to 15 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, 1 to 3 hours, and the last one is above than 3 hours. The highest percentage of the average time is 34.4%, which is consists of 65 respondents, which is 1 to 3 hours compared to others categories. This followed by 20.6%, which is 39 of respondents from 30 to 35 minutes category, and 16.9%, which is 32 of the respondent is above than 3 hours categories. The second lowest is from 5 to 50 minutes categories, which is representing about 15.9%, which is 30 of the respondent, and the lowest one is 12.2%, which is in the 20 to 25 minutes category. Also, we move to the frequently of use this TikTok app. The last part of the demographic profile is frequently of using TikTok. The result shows that only 85.2%, which is consists 161 respondents, use TikTok within 1 week. Meanwhile, 14.8% for only 28% of respondents used TikTok within 2 weeks ago. We move to the next part, which is the descriptive statistics. Okay, based on the table above, the result of uniqueness from 1 to 5, which mean it shows that with the mean of 3.94. The mean for informativeness is 4.12 with a minimum of 1 and the maximum of 5. For the intention to use to shop in TikTok, it has a minimum 1 and a maximum of 5, which means the score of mean is 3.73 mean. The mean for intention to use TikTok is 4.09 with a score range from 1 to 5. Therefore, the standard deviation for uniqueness, informativeness, intention to shop, and intention to use are respectively 0.74, 0.77, 0.89, and 0.87. To conclude, 22.25% refer to the standard deviation for the intention to shop in TikTok. It shows that it is the largest deviation among other variables. However, the lowest standard deviation in this study is 18.78%, which is uniqueness.
Back with me again at this analysis and result tree. This third piece conducted to answer all the objective of this research. Correlation data analysis is used at this part to figure out the relationship between the intention to use TikTok among young generation, and then to see the level of significance of every independent variable with the dependent variable. Okay, all the factor includes uniqueness, informativeness, and intention to shop. Moderate positive a significant relationship with the intention to use TikTok. Why I said that? Because the result of the correlation indicates that higher uniqueness score are associated with the higher intention to use TikTok. R stand for Pearson correlation for this uniqueness score 0.475. And then the P significance of this correlation analysis is at the less than 0.01, and then it shows that a P is significant. Next, there is a moderate positive significance also for the relationship between informativeness and intention to use TikTok. Result of the correlation indicate that higher informativeness scores are associated with the higher intention to use TikTok. And then this informativeness score R is 0.456, and then the p value is less than 0.01, and then the p show its significance. Lastly, there is a moderate positive significance also for the relationship between intention to shop and the intention to use TikTok. Result of the correlation indicate that higher intention to shop score are associated with higher intention to use TikTok. R 0.488, and then P less than 0.01. Then it show its significance relate with the intention to use TikTok. Now, I will explain on the multiple regression analysis. Multiple regression analysis is an extension of bivariate correlation. Tell how well a set of variables is able to predict a participant's outcome, and then to see the level of significance of every independent variable. For the IV, mean U, mean I, and mean IS is the IV, and for the DV is intention to use TikTok, which is a constant. Okay, and then F value of this table is a 64.705, and then the significance level of this table is less than 0.01. And then for the adjusted R for this table, adjusted R2 for this table is 0.504, and then R2 for this table is 0.502. Okay, the table over here show a regression analysis, and the table shows analysis, ANOVA analysis. From the table, we know that all independent variable, which is a uniqueness, informativeness, and the intention to shop in TikTok, together explain 0.512% of variance, and then the R square is 0.716 in intention to use, which is highly significant, and the model is fit as the F statistic is a 64.705, and the p value is 0.00, and is less than critical value, which is a p less than 0.5. Hence, the regression model is significant. It means that there is a relationship between uniqueness on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generation, and then the intention to shop on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generation. Here we can see that they have a two independent variable that significantly relate to dependent variable, which is intention to use TikTok. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Based on the finding in Chapter 4 under Research Objective 1, the first objective is to investigate the influence of uniqueness on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generation. Regarding the table above, the summary of the reliability variables that have the highest influence is the uniqueness of the TikTok. Results have shown that the p-value of the uniqueness is 0.001, which is 0.1%. It says that the intention to use TikTok is tied to individuality. It demonstrates that uniqueness is the most powerful independent variable, since the size of the related standardized coefficient is the greatest. Next, the second objective is to investigate the influence of informativeness on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generation. According to the table above, informativeness has a p-value of 0.547. It is above the 5% significant level. It is also explained that the informativeness is not significant with intention to use TikTok. It shows that informativeness is the weakest variable. The third objective is to investigate the influence of intention to shop on the level of intention to use TikTok among young generation. According to the table above, intention to shop has a p-value of 0.001. It says that the intention to use TikTok is tied to individuality. It demonstrates that intention to shop is the most powerful independent variable since the size of the related standardized coefficient is the greatest.
For the recommendation part, we would like to recommend that there are various things that the TikTok application can do to increase the number of sellers. First of all, the TikTok application can offer a reasonable price of advertisement to ensure the seller can use it to promote their products. Second, the TikTok application may offer the sellers to partner with the TikTok influencers since the young generations are easily influenced by them and make a purchase based on a recommendation from a social influencer. For the customers, the TikTok can increase the level of buyers by providing a discount and promotion such as buy one free one or 15% discount for the second item. Plus, the TikTok app also can provide free shipping to the customers to attract them to use the TikTok.
In conclusion, the study has provided a discussion of the findings of analysis regarding the relationship between independent and dependent variables concerning the factors that influence the usage of TikTok among young generations. There were a total of 3 significant relationships found between the independent variables and dependent variables, with each of the relationships having their own unique significance. Uniqueness, informativeness, and intention to shop are used as factors to the intention to use TikTok. There are 189 respondents who are from among young generations. Moreover, descriptive analysis, Chromebox Alpha, validity analysis, reliability analysis, and SPSS were utilized by us in order to get the data and do an analysis from the questionnaire we get. Based on our research objective, which are to determine the relationship between the uniqueness and intention to use TikTok, the informativeness and intention to use TikTok, the intention to shop and the intention to use TikTok among the younger generation. Furthermore, we have successfully discovered a few factors that contribute to the intention to use TikTok among the young generation, including uniqueness, informativeness, and the intention to shop. The study gained a positive significant relationships for its objective research, showing that only 2 independent variables, which are uniqueness and intention to shop, significantly influence the intention to use TikTok among the younger generation. Meanwhile, for informativeness, there is no significant relationship between informativeness and the intention to use TikTok.